Hello, I'm Billy with Far Flung Outdoor Center. We're located just outside of the Big Bend National Park in the town of Chilingua, Texas. It's a very remote area, a very beautiful area. We get tons of frequently asked questions, and today we're going to take a few moments to just go over some of these frequently asked questions. So, the one question we get frequently is, what is the best time to visit Big Bend? The last 3 weeks of January is absolutely a phenomenal time to be here. So if you're planning a trip, your work schedule, school schedule, life schedule allows you to be here anywhere from January the 5th through the end of January. Typically really nice weather. The town is not super busy, so you can expect off-season type activity in the park as far as traffic goes. Almost never lines to get in anywhere. And so they're all good times to come. The summer has its benefits as well. Milky Way season. Milky Way is visible to the naked eye here most of the year, but really pops out in the summer. Another question that we get frequently are, what are some of the main attractions here at Big Bend? And of course, Big Bend National Park is the main attraction. Some of the things inside of the Big Bend National Park that are very popular are the Chisos Basin, Santa Elena Canyon, Hot Springs, Boquillas, the Boquillas crossing and into the town, the Mexican town of Boquillas. Of course, passports required for that, but those are all real big highlights. There's so many trails, Pine Canyon, Balanced Rock, Miriscal Mines, so many things to do here that are absolutely amazing. So lots of attractions, and then in addition to the national park, not a lot of people visit the state park, but we're conveniently located here at Far Flung Outdoor Center in between the national park and the state park. We're about 5 miles from the national park entrance on the west side, and we are about 12 to 15 miles to the Barton Warnock Visitor Center in the state park. The park itself, 350,000 acres-ish, and absolutely spectacular. It's visited way less than the national park, so if you guys do come out on a very busy time, spring break, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, I always recommend checking out the state park. You can kind of get away from the crowds a little bit. How can I get to Big Bend? We are very remote, located in the extreme southwest corner of Texas. Our closest cities are Midland and Odessa area, which has airline service. That's about a 4-hour drive from here. The next closest city is going to be El Paso. That's about a 5-hour drive. El Paso also has nice airline service. If you're a private pilot or you have access to a private airplane, you can fly right into Lajitas Airport. Tango 89 is the identifier. They do require an advance notice, but they're very accommodating there as well. And then obviously you could drive here. The park is accessible by car. It's about an 8 to 10 hour drive, kind of depending on the conditions in the metropolitan areas, but from the Dallas and Houston areas, a little bit closer to Austin and San Antonio. What is weather like in Big Bend? It's a really great question. It varies every day. Like I mentioned, we have about that 30-degree split, and that's pretty much year round. So a lot of times it is layers are always a smart idea, and to be comfortable, highly recommend dressing in layers. Start off in the day at 40 degrees to a little bit chilly, climbs into the 70, 75 degree range in the afternoon. Very nice, very pleasant. That is typical weather for the month of October, November, December, and January. Gets a little colder towards the end of January. February is the coldest month in the park, and then March, April, very, very nice, and then it gets pretty warm through the summer. Not too uncommon in the June, July months to see high temperatures, 115 degrees or so in the afternoon Fahrenheit, makes it pretty hot. We do still enjoy the same 30-degree split, so you get to see some cooler temperatures in the evenings. 100-degree day, you can expect a 70-degree morning until it warms up. So even when it is warm, there's still quite nice times of the day to get out and enjoy outdoor recreation pretty much year round here in the Big Bend. Are there any camping options in the park? Yes, there are several camping options here in both parks. Rio Grande Village is in the national park. There's a Chisos Basin campsite that's in the campground that's in the park. There are several private campgrounds located just outside of the parks, several camping spots inside of Big Bend Ranch State Park. So there is tons of camping. There is lots of RV spots here in town. There's several different RV parks, and there are several private individual lodging accommodation options that range from teepees to more traditional houses of VRBO or Airbnb type setup, to the niche micro hotel like we have here at Far Flung Outdoor Center. We have 25 cabin accommodations. Here we have a pool. I'm actually coming to you today from our pool area. You can maybe see that in the background. But there are all kinds of motel, hotel, Airbnb, VRBO options in addition to the campgrounds and the RV parks here in town. So lots of options for different styles of accommodations. It's somewhat limited here, especially this close to the national park. Once we get outside of the Terlingua Studi Butte area here on the western side of the national park, the next closest town is Alpine. That's a 90-mile drive one way. They have several hotels, motels, and VRBO Airbnb options in Alpine as well. Just know that if you do choose to stay in Alpine and you're visiting the park as a primary destination, you're going to have about an hour and a half drive just to get to the park, and then you can safely budget another 45 minutes or so once you get into the park to get to any of the major areas of the park. So lots of driving. It's wide open spaces. The beauty of that is it's wide open skies, darkest sky in the lower 48. Amazing spot for astronomists and astrophotographers and tourists. Can I bring my pet to Big Bend? This, absolutely, you can bring your pet. They're not welcome in the national park on trails or pretty much outside of your car, to be honest, so be aware of that. There are some areas in the state park. There's a couple of hiking trails, closed canyons, one of them that does allow pets on the trail. That's in Big Bend Ranch State Park. And of course, you want to check with whatever local accommodations that you may have. We do have a pet-friendly facility here at Far Flung. So if you want to bring your pet, you could do that. Last question that we're going to cover today is, what is the best way to experience the Rio Grande? There are several outfitters here in town that offer guided float trips. You can certainly bring your own kayaks and canoes. If you have enough people to run the logistics, you can do private trips on your own, ranging anywhere from a half-day trip to a 2-week trip if that's what you would like. There are also, we are one of the outfitters here at Far Flung Outdoor Center that offers guided trips that range from half days. We have a half day that goes through the state park, goes through Dark Canyon. It's a beautiful stretch of the river. We have a full day, 2 full day options actually. One puts in at Gravel Pit and takes out at Rio Grande Village inside the park. We are starting next month the option to go to Boquillas. So you'll go to the Boquillas Crossing, float down to the mouth of the Boquillas Canyon, which is a beautiful, mostly spring-fed section of the river, and then go into the town of Boquillas, have lunch, have a little bit of time to take in the local culture there before coming back, crossing into the United States, and then coming back here to Far Flung to end the trip. Passport is required on that trip, but that's something that we're very excited to partner with our friends in Boquillas to offer that to our guests. We also have multi-day trips. You can run from Rio Grande Village all the way to Heath Canyon. That's a very nice 4-day trip. We have 2- and 3-day trips as well that go from Heath Canyon and take it out in the Black Gap Wildlife Area. And then, of course, the big daddy of them all is the Lower Canyons, which is an 83-mile stretch of wild and scenic river. If you guys have any interest in that, it's an amazing trip, whether you go private, whether you let someone else take care of all the details and go with the guided trip. Highly encourage that. The Rio Grande River does have low water conditions in a lot of it, but the further south you get, the more spring fed it is, making for a better trip. So lots of great things to do. Hope this answers some of your questions today. Hope that we can provide good services to everyone coming down here. If you have any questions, you can call our office. You can look us up online, bigbendfarflung.com. Thanks for the time today. Thanks for your attention. If you like this kind of information, there's lots more that we're about to launch. We're about to put out a series called Beyond the Basin, which explains that what you can do while the basin closes for renovations, which is coming up in May of this year. There's so many great things to do that we're looking at about a 20 to 25 part series covering hikes and things to do inside the national park specifically that will be available while the basin is closed. So thanks again for your time. Thanks for the follow. If you like this information, please give us a follow, and we will see you again next time.